Well, I read in the Bible many years ago that you're not going to stop wars until Christ comes back. But my father modeled this idea of passion. He had a single-minded approach to it. And what my dad did, and he wore himself out doing it, was to try to get the Jews and the Arabs not to kill each other in the Middle East. Worked with the Archbishop of Canterbury and all the church officials, worked with the Quakers, worked with everybody. Let's try to stop wars. He failed. But his passion was, how can we stop wars? I don't think we're going to stop wars, but I have the same passion built into me from my genes, from my father and my grandfather, who was physician to King George V and VI. He had the same single-mindedness. So if this is a character quality, it would be that you focus on one thing. Many people are so diverted, in diverse positions on everything. They don't have a clear idea. I've got a single-minded idea. I cannot think of anything more important than how to live forever. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. People have got endless good health things for living another 30 years. I'm all in favor of that. But Jesus came into Galilee with his gospel, saying, repent and believe in the gospel of the kingdom. So first thing is, everybody needs to say gospel of the kingdom all the time. Don't ever say gospel again. Always say gospel of the kingdom, because that phrase has been lost to the understanding of churchgoers. I want to change that. I want everybody to understand, look, there is a way to live forever and ever and ever and ever and never die, but you don't get much of that in church. It's like saying to somebody, what do you think, does it matter or not whether you live forever, or do you think being extinguished in the lake of fire when Christ comes back, that's equally good? I'm talking to evangelicals now, currently, who say that if you do away with eternal torture, conscious torture, you're taking the strongest key to repentance away. What? Isn't it bad enough to be burned up, annihilated? Here's your choice. For every human being listening, you either are going to be extinguished, put out of conscious existence forever and ever, or you're going to live forever and ever and ever. Does one have to explain why that is important? I don't get it. The parable of the sower, if you want to get focused on something important, is everything. Based on the analogy with our reproductive system, we're all seeds. You and I are all seeds. Well, so Jesus says, let's take that idea of seed and transfer it to the spiritual realm. And you've got to have the seed message of the kingdom, of the kingdom, of the kingdom. Otherwise, you aren't getting the seed and you're not going to be saved. I think that's very simple and very easy. And it's all there in the parable of the sower. And Mark 1, the beginning of the gospel. So before breakfast this morning, I was looking up one of my various books. And the man on Mark 1:1 said, archi there, the Greek word beginning, doesn't have an article. So he said it's kind of like a title. It's the title of the book, the beginning of the gospel as Jesus preached it. You're not going to hear that in your local church, not with clarity.